walls are padded, soft, white, indifferent, 2 meters by 2, a rusted cot, a bulb that flickers at 3 in the morning like it's trying to say something. I've been here 2 weeks, wrists raw from the straps they usually keep cinched tight. I know it isn't over. It only rests, coils back into whatever darkness it came from. A month from now, a century. The timeline doesn't matter. What matters is that one day it will return, and there will be no one left who knows how to stop it. No one except me. And I'm locked in here. Today the door opened and he walked in. Captain Stephen Walsh. My former boss. My former friend. The man I used to grab beers with after double shifts. He looked hollowed out, collar crooked, eyes red, whiskey following him like a shadow. He dismissed the orderlies with a single look and sat across from me, forearms on his knees, staring at the floor. Then he set a notepad and pen on the mattress between us. Write it all down, from the beginning, every detail. I need to know if I spent 15 years working next to a monster. I picked up the pen, and I started writing. It was a Monday. Late autumn, wet concrete, dead leaves, puddles wearing thin skins of ice. Captain Walsh called the 3 of us in, me, Ellen Price, and Ray Kovacs. He dropped a manila folder on the desk without a word and nodded at it. 3 murders, 3 weeks. The first victim, a middle-aged man, nailed to his apartment wall through his hands, feet, and skull with industrial spikes. A section of chest skin had been used to line a wooden box left on the dining table. His diary revealed years of secretly filming strangers, including children. On his stomach in black paint, the number 1. The second, a heavy-set man found in a private garage. Abdomen sliced open, packed with garbage, carefully sutured shut. Organs missing. A large red apple forced into the cavity. On the garage door, the number 2. The third, a young woman at the bottom of a dumpster, eyes gouged out, replaced with oversized coins, arms severed at the elbows, the forearms found nearby covered in rings and bracelets. She'd run underground betting schemes, fraud. On the dumpster, the number 3. Walsh leaned back. 3 days between each murder. Today is the 3rd day since the last one. He didn't need to finish the sentence. By morning, there was a 4th body. A retired man hanging from a tree at the forest's edge, arms and legs bent backward at the joints, an inverted cross driven into his forehead. A note in his pocket. Idle are the hands that do not work. Useless are the legs that do not walk. His wife said he'd quit his job 2 months ago and hadn't left the couch since. On the tree trunk, the number 4. That was when it clicked. I nearly knocked my chair over. He thinks he's God. The numbers, their sins. Lust, gluttony, greed, sloth. 7 deadly sins. Each victim is a punishment. Walsh was quiet for a long time. Then, that means 3 more. We worked around the clock. Nothing. The killer left exactly what he intended, and nothing else. No prints, no trail. Between murders, he simply vanished. Then the 5th murder happened, and someone survived. Jake, 18 years old, had been walking through Riverside Park with his friend Marcus. They spotted a figure near the central fountain. Tall, perfectly still. Long, dark coat brushing the ground, wide-brimmed hat pulled low. They turned and walked the other way. 100 meters later, the figure was in front of them again. Marcus walked toward it. He always had a temper. But 5 meters away, he stopped, then started backing up. The figure crossed the distance in less than a second, lifted Marcus off the ground by his throat with one hand, and when Jake ran forward, threw Marcus aside like a rag doll. Then it looked at Jake. Chalk white skin. A mouth stretched too wide. Teeth too long and too dark. Eyes that weren't eyes. Just depth. It held him in its gaze, then lost interest and walked into the dark. When Jake could stand, Marcus was gone. No body, no blood. We told ourselves the boy was drunk, traumatized, but nobody in that room fully believed it. A week passed with no murders. My health fell apart during that silence. No sleep, no appetite. The case living inside my skull. Then I found the box on my desk. Small, plain cardboard. My name in careful block letters. A few dark red spots on the back. Inside, 3 severed human fingers, each from a different person. Carved into each one, the numbers 5, 6, 7. At the bottom of the box, a single slip of paper. One word. Soon. He'd already finished. 7 sins, 7 dead. And now he was letting me know. I didn't report it. Instead, I drove to the edge of town to find a woman named Agnes Cole, an old eccentric we'd dismissed twice over the years. I didn't dismiss her anymore. She opened the door before I'd finished knocking. "Took you long enough," she said. She told me the thing hunting my city was not a man. It was a summoner, sent ahead to perform a ritual and open a door. What had walked through that door was ancient, cyclical, surfacing every 100 years to feed on souls. 2 ways to stop it. Wait for it to finish, which meant hundreds more dead, or perform a counter-ritual before midnight. 3 guilty souls offered in a specific way. She told me the details. She told me to come back the next morning for the protection ritual to survive the night. I woke up the next morning, so she'd been telling the truth. I drove back. The front door swung open at my touch. The smell hit me before I stepped inside. Copper and rot. The room was destroyed. Blood on every surface. Belongings thrown everywhere, as though the place had been torn apart in a frantic search. Agnes had not survived the night. A neighbor confirmed, screaming inhuman sounds, the entire village awake and terrified behind locked doors. I stood on the road and looked at the shuttered windows, a child's bicycle abandoned in a yard, smoke rising from chimneys. Women, children, people who had no idea what was coming. I made a decision. I'm not proud of it, but I would make it again. 3 guilty souls. I found them in the bars at the edge of town. By midnight it was done. I performed the ritual exactly as Agnes had described. And then the lights went out in my head. I came back to myself in a holding cell. All 7 murders had been attributed to me. The trial lasted 4 months. At the end of it, the court decided I wasn't a murderer. I was insane, which is how I ended up here. I slid the notepad across to Walsh. He read it slowly, pressing his thumbnail against certain pages, as though feeling for something beneath the words. When he finished, he put the notepad in his pocket, stood up, and left without saying a word. He didn't believe me. Of course he didn't. But the village is safe, at least for this century. The thing that started all of this is sleeping now. Patient, timeless, already counting the years until it wakes. The bulb flickers. The walls are soft, and I wait.